My intros literally get more and more awkward every single time. Like, it's cool. But we're back. And I'm in this location again. I know I said like 4 videos ago that this wasn't gonna be permanent, but I think it is, honestly. So I lied. I just really wanted to make a video because I've had a really stressful day, and it's kind of nice to just like come on here and just like record and fucking stress myself out more with editing. Love that. In all reality, like, this is kind of like a detox for me, and plus it's Friday and I usually upload on Fridays. That might be like a regular thing. Uploads on Fridays. No promises though, because I can't commit to shit and I don't want it to be like Friday one day and I'm just like really not wanting to do this and someone's like, oh my god, it's Friday, like, upload, you stupid bitch. Who am I kidding? Literally no one gives a fuck if I upload or not. No one watches this anymore, but like there's like 4 people maybe that still watch this, so hi guys. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing today, basically what I do every time, story time. I said that so goddamn unenthusiastically. And that's just because, like, I genuinely don't know if people are sick of this or not. People could be like, oh my fucking god, another story time, shut the fuck up, no one cares. But, like, on the other hand, people might actually enjoy this. I know I enjoy making them. Like, it's kind of fun for me, I guess. So I'm gonna keep doing it because, like, it's my channel. No, I'm just kidding. Like, if you are sick of this, like, let me know. I can switch it up. Anyway, into like the video. So, as you know, Thanksgiving is like coming up and everyone's like going hunting and stuff. Like, there's so many kids not at school because they're like hunting, and like today people were like wearing hunting shit because like it's hunting season, bro. I don't know. I decided in honor of hunting season, I would tell 3 stories about whack ass shit that has gone down when I've gone hunting and fishing and just like any sort of outdoor wilderness activity that has just like gone completely wrong. And these stories that I'm about to tell, along with like a lot more incidents, are like some of the big reasons why I don't fuck with the wilderness and stuff today. I used to be really big into all that kind of stuff, like camping and hiking and kayaking. It just got to a point where something was going terribly fucking wrong every single time I would like step foot into the outdoors. So let's just dive right in. First story takes place not that long ago in terms of some of the other ones. So this was probably like 4th, 5th grade-ish, and I went out duck hunting with my dad, my brother, and my uncle. So our plan was like, we had our boat and we were gonna like go out onto the water and like hunt for ducks, you know? So basically we got everything ready and we were ready to start like boating out to the area that we were gonna be hunting at. So on the way out, my brother, he kept like leaning over the side of the boat to like grab these seashells. And this really pissed my dad off because my brother was like about to tip the fucking boat over. That part isn't really essential to the main story, but like I just want you to understand that like my dad was already pissed off at my brother and like kind of me, and we've only been out for like 15 minutes. So like 5-ish minutes go by and we're at the spot that we're gonna be hunting. So we like come to a stop, like put the anchor in, you know, and we were sitting in that spot for a good like 30 minutes to an hour, seeing absolutely nothing, hearing absolutely nothing, just like dead quiet, no fucking ducks. And me being the little ADD ass 10-year-old that I was getting really fucking bored. And we'd always bring like snacks and stuff like in this little cooler when we'd go out hunting or fishing, just in case someone got hungry. Now, I wasn't really hungry, but I was just really bored, so I was like, you know what, I'll just eat some M&Ms. So I'm just sitting there casually eating my fucking M&Ms when all of a sudden there's a duck flying above us. I guess I was being too loud and I was gonna scare it away, according to my father. So he grabs my M&Ms out of my hand and throws them off the side of the boat. I wasn't just gonna let my M&Ms go like that, so I dead ass stand up and jump into the nasty ass, moldy, crusty, dusty fucking lake water for my M&Ms. I didn't even like dive down to like get them. I basically just like jumped off the side and just like started fucking swimming like a dumbass. Just like I didn't even want to go get them. I just wanted to like prove a point to my dad, like, shouldn't have fucking threw my M&Ms off, okay? Like now I'm all wet. Like now we have to go home. So as I said, I'm like doggy paddling like a dumbass on the side of the boat. Literally everyone is quiet, like my dad, my uncle, my brother. They're all just sitting there in shock, staring at me on the side of the boat, doggy paddling, because I just jumped in after my M&Ms that my father just threw into the water. So I finally like gain control of myself and come to my senses and decide I should probably get back in the boat. Just reach up, grab the side of the boat, and I just like pull myself back in. Surprisingly, I did not tip the boat, but I was just sopping wet, and it was like fall time, so I was also freezing fucking cold. So I had it made up in my mind, like, we were gonna go home, you know? Like, that was kind of the point of that, was like, oh, okay, you care about the ducks so bad, throw my M&Ms in. Okay, well, we're not gonna get any ducks because I jumped in and we're going home. That was my thought process, was like we were gonna go home and like I win. But my dad, being the sly dog that he is, brought extra clothes. So guess I didn't win after all and took one of the fattest L's I've ever took ever. So anyway, I change into these dry clothes and we sit there for about another like hour and a half. And that's when more ducks come around and my dad actually shoots one. And it like falls along like some brush kind of by the shoreline. So we like reeled the anchor in or whatever and we started like rowing over to like the shoreline area. So if you've ever been like outside by like a lake or river or stuff like that, you know that like along the shoreline sometimes there's like those really tall like plant thingies. As we were like rowing over to like get the duck, my brother grabs onto one of those like really like tall plant things that are like, there's probably a name for them, but like I'm just gonna call them the tall plant things. My brother grabs one of those. My dad doesn't realize it, so he just keeps like oaring like harder. He's like trying to move and like he can't because my brother's holding the plant. He thinks the boat got like stuck on something, so he just keeps like pushing and pushing and like it's not working because my little dipshit of a brother's holding the plant. So my dad turns around and realizes that my brother was holding this plant and he just loses it, takes his fucking oar and just yeets it, like scoops it into the water and just splashes me, my brother, and my uncle like fucking Poseidon. So at this point, everybody is soaking wet, but my brother and my uncle still have their spare change of clothes. I, however, do not. We didn't even bother with the duck. We literally just fucking fired up the motor and just went home. The whole ride back, everyone was just dead quiet. I was soaking wet. And yeah, that's basically all there is to it. That was a story of how my dad raged at me, threw my M&Ms in the water. I jumped after them to prove a point, thinking that we would go home. We didn't. I changed into my spare dry clothes just to be splashed by my fucking dad because my brother decided to be a dipshit and hold on to a plant when my dad was oaring. So, love that. Next. This one is by far the craziest of the three. I just wanted to tell it in the middle because the last story is like oddly sort of similar to the one I just told. That's not really important. Let's just jump into this crazy shit. This time it was just me, my dad, and my uncle. And we were all going out turkey hunting. It was definitely a few years prior to the last story. I was probably in like 2nd or 3rd grade, I'd say. So anyway, the place where we are hunting, it was like a big open field, and then there was like woods on this side of the field and woods on this side of the field. So we like set up camp on this side of the field in like these little woods. So as usual, hours go by and literally nothing happens till about 2.5 hours of us just sitting in this tree line. We finally see movement coming from the other side of the field. At first, we thought that this was just a really fat turkey. However, upon closer inspection, we realize that this is not a turkey that we see moving. This is a gigantic fucking porcupine. Now, I don't know how big porcupines are normally supposed to be, but I don't think this shit was normal at all. This thing was like gigantic for a porcupine, I think. I think that's fucking big for a porcupine. I don't know. So me being the little 2nd grade freaking IQ of a walnut ass bitch that I was, I decided the best thing to do in this scenario was stand up and run across the field towards the porcupine. This is where it gets fucking wild. Now, this wasn't like a small field either, but like I was determined to get over to that fucking porcupine. So I'm just like booking it over there. My dad and my uncle are like yelling at me like, stop, what are you doing? Get back here, you're gonna fucking scare the turkeys. I don't give a shit. I'm just Usain Bolting all the way to that porcupine. Now, any normal human would expect the porcupine to just like run off into the woods. Like obviously he's gonna be scared of some crazy 2nd grader running at it. Well, that's not what the porcupine did. It didn't run away. This fucking porcupine decides to just go into like full Autobots rollout attack mode. Just start charging towards me. Now, I was definitely terrified at this point, and I kid you not, this fucking porcupine literally attacks me, like with its claws. A lot of people seem to think that they like shoot their quills at you or something. Like, no, it just came at me with its claws and just started scratching my legs. I literally still have like scars like on the back of my thigh. Like I have dead ass scars from this porcupine attacking me. I wouldn't believe me either. Like it was like not like jumping up and scratching me. It was like fucking wrapping itself around me and like scratching the backs of my legs. Definitely like show the camera right now, but it's like so high up on my thighs that it's like basically my ass. Like I'm not trying to get demonetized, so that kind of gives you an idea of how fucking big this porcupine was. I mean, yeah, I was in 2nd grade, so I was probably a lot shorter, but still, the fact, because like aren't porcupines supposed to be like tiny? Like this thing was so big that it could like jump up and like reach around and like claw me like up towards like my ass. Like it could like reach up there. Like that sentence sounded so weird. Like it could reach up my ass. I don't know. Like it clawed a part of my back, and I still have a scar from that too. I can probably show that without getting demonetized. Okay, this right here, that's on my back. That's like really high up. This thing was gigantic. That's from its claw. Look at how freaking wide that is. So basically, after I got fucking mauled by a porcupine, long story short, we go home. I didn't even go to the hospital. We just like put some band-aids on it. Really stupid fucking decision because that thing could have had rabies. Luckily, it didn't though, and I survived. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I feel like I don't tell people about that enough because I was literally mauled by a wild animal. I don't think you guys realize how fucking crazy this was for me because, like, I actually thought I was gonna die. Like, yeah, it's a porcupine. You probably think I'm overreacting, but, like, that was probably genuinely one of the craziest things to like ever happen to me, and that's saying something. But on to something a little less wild. I'm gonna try to tell this one like as quickly as possible because this video is gonna be so fucking long. I already know. I've been filming for like 2 hours now. So me and my dad and my brother used to always like go out canoeing on the river. One of our fun little family bonding things that we'd always like to do on like weekends and stuff. But one day we decided to bring my dog Bailey with us. So, for the sake of just time, I'm gonna jump ahead a bit. We were just going downstream, you know, just having fun, doing what we always did. Bailey seemed pretty content. He was just kind of sitting on the like floor of the canoe. He didn't really seem too bothered, so seemed like it was gonna be a nice, relaxing evening. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So Bailey stands up on that little like ice chest I was talking about in the first story, the same one, that we'd like keep our snacks and extra clothes and everything in. He hops up onto that and he's just like sitting on it. And for some fucking reason, this dog thinks that it's a good idea to just out of nowhere jump off the side of the canoe. At this point, he's literally just like swimming downstream. He's a good like 8 to 10 feet in front of us, and he's just like going downstream. My fucking dog was swimming downstream. So my dad gives me and my brother the oars, and he says, "Keep paddling, I'm jumping after him." My dad jumps in after my dog, and comes to the realization that the water is literally like 2 feet deep. It literally like actually makes me laugh thinking about it. We were all in a panic. We thought that the water was like at least like 15 feet deep. So my dad just like jumps in after Bailey. And the water was like a kiddie pool deep. So my dad like slams into the sand, gets right back up and just like runs after Bailey. He just picks him up, walks over to the canoe, and just like sets him back in. My dad changed his clothes, and from that point on, everything was pretty solid, you know? It's a slight dilemma. So that was the story of the time my dog decided to be a dumbass and jump off the side of the fucking canoe. And then my dad had to go on a rescue mission and fucking dive after Bailey like he's gonna save him, and turns out the water's 2 feet deep and he slams into the sand. But yeah, that does it for this long ass video. Like, this is probably gonna actually be 20 minutes long. You know, I love editing. Anyway, yeah, bye. Subscribe, I guess, or don't.